Hey everyone, so it's been 12 days since my last update of my Amazon merch advertising $300 challenge, where I'm trying to spend $300 and to have made a profit by the end of that spend. I'm using it for the first time and I'm trying to learn the ropes with Amazon merch advertising to figure out how it works so I can make a profit in the future. And if you remember on my last update on day 7, I had spent $108 in advertising. I'd made $137 in sales. So my average cost of sales was 79%. But I'd actually made quite a loss at that last update on day 7 because even though I'd made $137 of sales, I was only making between $3 and $4 for every time a shirt was sold. So I was selling my shirts for like $16.99 and making $4. So I'd made quite a loss from that original 108 ad spend. So what we're going to do today is jump in on day 19 to see my updated spend, where I am in that $300 target, where my sales are at, and see if I'm yet at profit or if I've got more work to do. Okay, so jumping into my computer on day 19 of my $300 advertising challenge, I've now spent $279.62 of that target $300 I was looking to spend. And I have made $474 worth of sales. So, whereas my average cost of sales on day 7 was 79%, I've managed to bring it down to 58%, well pretty much 59%. So that's a 20% drop. Average cost of sales is basically how much you've spent compared to how much you've made. It gives you a percentage, and the lower that percentage, the better you're doing. So I wanted to bring mine down from 79% last time. It's now at 58%, 59% now. But I mentioned in the last video that my target was to get it down to 12%. So you can see I'm still quite a way off from hitting that 12% average cost of sales target. So looking at these numbers, I'm estimating that after spending $279 on advertising, I've made around $100 in revenue. So as it stands, I've actually lost $180 worth of my own money with this experiment. I've spent $280, $100 back I've got in revenue, so I've actually lost $180. So unless in the last $20 that I spend, I can get a miracle and make over $180 worth of profit, I'm probably not gonna succeed in this challenge, but I'm going to keep reporting up until the end of the $300 spend target. So I'm just going to give you a little run through about what I've done from starting my ads to get to this point, and kind of what I've learned as well through advertising in this initial experiment I've been doing with the platform. So when I first started, I was testing ads here, there and everywhere. We're going to scroll down. I'm just going to get Joe to blur out my campaigns column, because you're probably going to be able to read what my t-shirt names are if you can see that. But since I started, yeah, I've been making campaign after campaign, targeting different niches, one campaign for one niche, one campaign for another niche. Some of them I was doing as automated ads, some of them I was doing targeted at specific keywords I was typing in. I was giving different bids, like maximum bids for different adverts, to see, you know, what works and what didn't. Because I'm completely new to the platform, you know, and you have to learn anything. You always, whenever you start something as a rookie, you've got to put the time into learning. So I was making all of these campaigns to see what settings worked best and what didn't. And when we got to day 7, my last one, I'd actually moved on from my original ads and whittled it down to some better performing ads. So I'd used my initial data I got back from that first bit of money I spent, and I'd made some new ads to optimize, and that's how I got my average cost of sales down. From day 4, it was like 180%. I got down to 80% on day 7. And that I basically done between day 7 and day 19 is I have optimized those ads even more. So some of these you can see I've got down here 40 ads now. We're going to go to a different view. But a lot of those now are now inactive because they're the original ads that I had built. You see all of these ones that are turned off because of this switch here is turned off. They're the original ads I built that didn't perform very well, and I basically made new ads from them to try and get better performance from the new ads I was making. So this whole process has been me basically making ads at the start, experimenting different settings out, seeing what works, what doesn't, filtering it down to what works better and what doesn't, filtering it down again, and I'm basically refining the process to get to ads that are making money and filtering out the ones that aren't. And basically the mistake I believe I made is I let myself spend too much money before optimizing my ads and getting down to those better performing ads. I let the scales balance too much towards losses where I couldn't really recover it with profits enough to offset the losses I had at the start. So I basically taught myself some limits of like how much money you should spend initially on an ad before you sort of turn it off, or before you try something different and try and optimize it. How much you should spend before you just write it off as a bad ad and you move on to something else. So that's been a really good educational process of teaching me those limits, teaching me what to look out for before you sort of write something else or you decide to optimize these ads moving forwards. And I've also learned sort of what average, like maximum bids do better than others, and how it works with the targeting and the automated ads, and what works best between them. So it's been a really good educational experience, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a profitable experience by the end of this $300. But yeah, I'd love to know how all of your advertising strategies are going with Amazon Merch. Have you got worse results than me, or have you got better results than me? Let me know in the comments box below. And if you can give me any tips, if you're doing way better than me, you can give me some tips, and the rest of the community, I'd be really appreciative if you can let us all know down in the comments. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned for my advertising series. When I hit 300 is probably when I'm going to make the next video. It should be in a few days. I'll update you on my final results with that $300 ad spend challenge. If you want to get started with Merch by Amazon and you want a free guide on how to get to tier 500, go to my website, startstartingup.com/merch by Amazon, pop your email address in, and I'll email you that free PDF guide that I've made of how I got from tier 10 to tier 500 with organic, natural sales. I didn't do any advertising. I got to that as a step-by-step guide you can download on my website. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I can turn this around as best as possible. I don't think I'm going to make the profit now by the end of the challenge, but you never know, I might get a miracle. So thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye.